Okay, tell her to grow up.
No.
What I was going to
No,
say,
no, like
I can assure you that on show day, there's probably not a single male thinking
Yeah.
about having sex.
Oh my
I know, right?
To be honest, is there?
And even if you are one of those weirdos that's back there creeping, the first girl fart you smell. I don't know what some of these girls are carving up on, but holy.
This is really fun. I hope. Or a disaster.
Hope there's no fights.
All right, so welcome to Bodybuilders Amateur Hour. Today is, I guess we're having a really special edition for the show. We invited in a bunch of couples. Sorry, Dev. I don't know how you ended up here, but thanks for coming. But
I don't know. I got the link somehow. I don't know.
I sent it by mistake. Sorry. No,
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Devin's good. He's just, we'll explain it later. So, basically, we're here today to talk about and educate everybody about prep life and what to expect from your significant other and what they have experienced and might experience in your prep. If you have never gone through a prep before, we're going to talk to some people, everyone here that has gone through quite a lot of them, and along with our partners that are, our rock, the people that support us the whole way, the people that sacrifice with us, and the people that put up with us and our bullshit, because there's some of that. And we're going to be hopefully getting into it and getting into some fun stuff. And we got
That's why I'm here, right, Josh?
What's that?
That's why I'm here, because you live with me during my preps.
Oh my God. You are so right. I forgot about that. Oh, that was a rough one too, man. Uh-oh. Okay,
so that's kind of
I got it coming from both sides. So we're gonna go through, and we got a bunch of questions from some of our viewers, and I think we'll probably pick up some along the way as we go. I'll just start off right now. This is Allison, my wife, and we've been together now for 5 years and gone through just about 5 years, engaged for 5 years, sorry, and gone through 4 preps. So every year that we've been together, I've been in a prep. Sorry. Still here. So then we have brought on special guest. Thank you for joining us, Antoine and Sarah. We're really excited to have you guys back on. You were one of our first guests, actually, and so we're great to have you guys back. And Devin, and Devin,
my guest.
Devin, he's been through every prep Devin's been through. So.
Yeah, he's been through every prep.
He was originally fully black. Now Devin,
now he's black and white. I dyed him white. Yeah, he's gray from my preps.
Then we got Jamie and Darla. How are you? And then Amy and Andy. What's happening?
Good.
Awesome.
Well, Darla and I have been together for 3 years.
Yep.
I think she's been through 4 preps with me so far.
It's Jamie.
Heading into one more. So in 3 years.
Going through now.
You're still sticking by.
I'm better now than what I used to be, though.
Yeah.
Here's our cat. Cat butt.
Are you better now? Are you fine?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm the motivational guru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps me from thinking negative shit. So a lot of my positivity is coming from this side right over here.
Oh, I love it. So, Antoine, Sarah, what's your guys' story? How long have you been together? You guys
What
are
about
actually
Amy and
on.
Andy?
You guys both. I want to put this out there. You guys both compete. So
Yeah.
you guys both have been through shows together.
Yeah.
But the way this is working is, I compete. Allison doesn't. Well, she doesn't do bodybuilding. She does her own competing in strongman.
Yeah.
And again, like Darla hasn't competed. And Amy, you have, but it's been a little bit.
I think the last show I did was the last one that we did together.
Yeah.
The last
Jamie?
prep Andy did, he didn't end up going to show because you had some injuries. But yeah, I've done 11 shows from 2013 to like 2021, I think, was the last time I went on stage.
Oh, that's amazing too.
That's awesome.
So we have
We
all of
prepped
our
together for the
wives
same
and
show.
partners.
Actually.
What's that? Sorry.
We prepped together for the exact same show, actually.
Yeah.
Right. So that's cool. We like.
Antoine and Sarah, you guys probably have too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Well, for us, it's kind of funny because we met in a prep, so the expectations were pretty low from the start. And we've been prepping ever since, so we don't know what not prepping is.
I guess that makes.
It didn't really change.
No.
So maybe, I don't know, we might be a little bit friendlier if we stop prepping for a bit, but I don't think that's going to change. One of us is always in prep.
We're pretty nice.
We just don't know the difference.
You don't. Yeah, I guess that's pretty fair.
I remember those days, first prep days of you two.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Devin was there the whole time.
Yeah.
I was front row and center for that one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that's like something we'll get into very shortly. Yeah. So let's see here. We'll start off with one of the questions from the viewers. I just got to pull it up on my phone. I should already have this up, but I don't. The big one. I've got a couple people asking this, so we'll go around. Whoever wants to talk, go ahead. How do you handle your partner's mood swings in prep? So usually, like, let's kind of address this. People are asking these questions, like never being in a prep before, or never being with somebody in a prep. So, kind of like, try to get into like pretty much basic stuff that's like easy to understand.
So for us, well, what I do is I use everything with humor. So most of the time I'll just pick on Sarah until she pops or explodes at me, and then then everything gets better after that.
He pushes me to the point where I actually cry because then I release the energy and then I feel better.
Also helps with dehydrating during the end of the prep, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure crying burns some calories, right?
It sounds funny, but it's actually true. The psychological approach to that, with the humor and kind of picking on me and nagging, it just builds up, and I go a little bit crazy, and then I just kind of burst out, and then it's over. Then I'm calm for another few weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you kind of like realize, like, usually whatever's bothering you probably is not a huge deal, and then you just like release it and let it go, and be like, oh, okay, that was kind of silly, but.
The biggest thing last prep was her waist. She was like, my waist is so big, it's not tight. I'm like, oh, bro. So I went and I contacted my friend. I'm like, can you please tell Sarah that her waist is small?
I literally have like a non-existent waist, so
I'm like, you're 5'7" and your waist is the same size as someone that's like 5'2". I'm like, your waist is small.
Sarah, she comes home from the gym. She's like, why do like 10 people tell me my waist is small today? I was like, I don't know. It's like, I feel pretty good though.
No, I get in my head a lot, as we all do, right?
Oh,
And I'll loop on it until he breaks my loop.
Yeah.
So huge support that way.
I'm not better. I'm picking on Sarah, but when I prep, it's not much better.
You go hide.
I just hide.
He goes and hides in the room, and then I know that things aren't good.
Yeah.
When Antoine's prepping?
Oh yeah. Last prep, I had a car office, so then no one could bug me, so I could move around. So I would go from parking lot.
The guys are a bit worse, I think. It's like a cold.
Jamie, darling, what do you guys? Jamie's like having a hissy fit. What's your?
Yeah.
You know, it's for Sarah and Antoine. You guys are both competing. So
yeah,
when it's one competing and one not competing.
Yes, this is you. This is where a lot of our questions come from.
Yeah.
I do a lot of reading and a lot of self-development. I had started in a network marketing company in 2006, and it really pushed me towards self-development. You know, if you read something 30 minutes a day, you can't be the same person that you would be if you didn't.
No, 100%.
So, what Sarah was saying, you know, in your head, do you know that just about every drama that you experience is all in your head? And
not wrong.
The whole fight is in your own head.
Yeah.
When Jamie and I met, we had a little joke going, and we'd say, okay, you know, I wasn't really looking for a relationship, and nor was he. So we hung out for about a week, and then I was going to tell him I'm not really ready for a relationship. That's sort of, he's like, yeah. Actually, it was me who got moody, and he said something that triggered something in my head, and I got a little different. My face made all this crazy thinking on the outside, you know.
Wasn't good.
I can't be responsible for what my face does when I'm thinking. Anyway, we made a little joke, and I said, you know, we had a really good week. How about we do another week, and then we'll reassess next week. If it's a good week, we'll do another week. And we made that an ongoing joke for months, and we had a lot of fun with it. So I had said to him, you know, if I get mad at you for something, you know, that you've done, that's on me. Because if somebody outside of you, usually it's something that triggers your inner feelings. You don't like me, you're not paying attention, you're not this, you're not that. So I said, if I get mad at you, that's on me. I'm going to go down the hall and try to figure out what I'm upset. And if you get mad at me, I suggest you go down the hall, and I'll be out here having a good time. And when you feel better, you come back and let me know what it was you were upset about. And he said, does that work? Does that actually work? I said, I don't know. You're my first one. So I guess and, you know, it was a joke at the time, but we've stuck with that, and it really does work. It's amazing. So we've both been in relationships where we didn't apply that. Mm-hmm. And other people. So regardless if it's your everyday relationships or you add something like the pressure of a prep, it's still the same thing. So you know that usually when you get pissed off at the other person, it's because you're played out. You're tired. You're not, and you start internalizing. I wouldn't feel this way if you didn't eat your toast like that. Or whatever it is, but it's usually
smack your fucking food.
Rule number one in prep: the prepper is always wrong.
Yeah. So
it's
when Jamie says he doesn't get upset, he's not lying. It's really I don't. Not that we don't ever have our days,
right?
You know, we had one of them in the backyard.
But it ain't. It isn't because of prep, right?
No, it's because of Jamie.
Because me.
We're choosing this,
yeah.
So it's hard to take it out on your significant other if you're choosing it.
Yeah. If all else fails, it's his fault.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
I'm just happy. I just learned something else I can pick on you on. I'm gonna bug you about how you treat your food
Oh
tomorrow.
my god. I'm having a hard time eating my food right now. So.
Helps that I'm a good prep food cooker.
Oh, I've heard. That's also, we'll save that one. That's also another question.
Yeah.
That helps. You can't get mad now, Jamie.
I know. No, I don't.
Right?
He knows.
Where's your meals gonna go?
On the go.
We'll do. You got something to add, Andy and Amy? And we'll.
I think our situation is a little bit unique. Andy competed for a decade almost before I even came into the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I did the majority of my competing before he came into my life. So I think we have both separately found ways to diffuse our own mental crisis when they happen. For the shows that we prepped, because I did a back-to-back 2 weeks apart for both of my preps that I did. I think you did.
I said one of them.
You just did one at a time. But it was oddly seamless and flawless, and we prepped really. I don't want to make anyone mad, but we prepped really, really well together. He would make my meals and prep my food, and vice versa. And when I get up at 4:30, I'd prep his salads for him to take for lunch. And there was always that give and take and share of responsibility. There were definitely early morning 5 a.m. quiet cardio sessions driving to the gym. Just there's no talking. Just go do this thing that we have to do, and then we can go home and not be here anymore.
We would just settle into a system, and it worked really well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good. It's perfect.
Yeah.
How about you, love?
How do I put up with you? So I think one of the smartest things Josh did when we...
Oh, you hear that? Mark that down.
One. There was only one.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. When we were... Well, we started dating in the summer, and then you did a show in like, I think it was like February or something.
April.
Okay, well, whatever.
Whenever.
But at some point, he basically sat me down and was like, "Listen, I'm gonna start getting ready for this show now, and it's kind of gonna get shitty, and I just want to like give you a heads up." And at the time, I was like, "Hey, whatever. Like, I get it. Like, I'm an athlete. I do sports. Like, I've had to prepare for a competition." So I kind of played it down a little bit. But to his credit, he at least tried to tell me. So when it did get a little shitty, I was at least prepared. And I do like specifically remember a night that I can't even remember what it was about, but I remember being in my kitchen and him coming in and just saying something about, he was annoyed about something. And I was just like,
I think I forgot a meal.
Maybe. We were in the kitchen, so possibly. Anyways, I just kind of like realized, like, oh, this is what he was talking about. And this is like, I need to not put this on him because, like, for one, he tried to warn me. And he told me that this was coming. And it made it a little easier for me to not take, you know, his mood personally, basically, because he had, you know, this was to be expected kind of thing. So, yeah. So I guess, you know, for anybody that is new to all of this, that, you know, you have a partner that wants to get into this or has been into this and you're, you know, it's new to you. Just like having that open line of communication was really helpful right from the get-go, just so, you know, you kind of know what to expect a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that's fantastic. And like, it's just communicating, right? Just try to talk about everything and anything, even when you really don't want to. I think is the best approach. If anything is bothering anybody, like during a prep, or just kind of let it out, let it go. And then just like, I guess real life and everyday life, it's kind of the same thing. And if you're having a mood swing, if you're angry, pissed off, whatever, if you're doing an untested show, don't blame the PEDs. That is a cop-out. Like a lot of people do. And
Josh, you learn from me living with me during prep.
Oh yeah,
you learn how to control yourself, right? Through me.
I've been through a lot of preps with Devin. Yeah, I've been through a lot of preps with Devin, and
He seems to be buying that, Devin.
Josh was my girlfriend back then. That's what I thought he was coming on tonight to be my girlfriend, but
yeah.
I'm all alone.
You can go on next week, Devin.
Next week? Okay. Oh, that's my week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my.
Thanks, Allison.
It's tiring. The front and back's getting tired. Her look. Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's the look. Yeah, so do you guys, how does meal prep go when people are in like a relationship or living at home with family, or doing like, if you're, how does supper time go when one person wants to have something, the other person is on prep and they can't? Or do people cook separately or eat at different times? How does meal preparation work for everybody?
Well, right now I'm not in prep, so Sarah eats out of her containers all day. She cooks her own food, but I went to go buy beef for her the other day, so that's nice. I did a really good. I don't do that very often.
That's 1 point.
So it's good. But usually she's clean all day. I'll eat all my meals, like 5 meals a day. Then around 7, I'll go get McDonald's and I'll ask her if she wants to smell my burger.
Yeah.
That seems a little right.
But yeah, usually I have a cheat meal like every day, so it's kind of fun. Sarah has no cravings, so she doesn't cheat on her diet. She doesn't she likes her food, except this week. This week I told her to put sauce in the food because she was getting bored of it. She didn't want to eat.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it doesn't bother me at all to be around food. I actually do a lot of baking and cooking during my prep.
Yeah.
If anybody follows my feed. So I like to bake cookies and cakes and cupcakes and squares, and I like to make creations of food for him for the things that I'm craving. So I kind of take out all the stuff that I want to eat and make him eat it.
For example, we're going to a birthday supper tomorrow, and Sarah's going to drink coffee. So she gets a good black coffee. Well,
it sounds delicious.
But
it does during prep, though. It does during prep.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Coffee's the bomb during prep.
Yeah.
But
Sarah, how many calories are you eating nowadays? I was just talking about this today, about your calorie intake when me and you were working together.
Sarah right now is 23. On rest days, it's 16.
But like off season.
So this year, probably like 5,000 with all our Thailand cheat meals. So it would be like,
but remember, we got up to like 4,500 or something like that.
Yeah.
At one point.
So I am a very fortunate female to be able to build up my calories extremely high. My training intensity goes a long way with that as well. I feel very fortunate that way.
I was wondering that today. Me and Amanda were talking about it. We were wondering what kind of calories you're eating now for that weight.
Yeah, so probably
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
So we were over 4K clean calories, like almost like half a year, and we put around like 35 pounds, 35, 37. So now,
pretty sweet.
Yeah. So we started cutting. I'm like, oh shit, we gained a lot more size than I thought we did.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Jamie,
good job.
My preps. I did a lot of my preps too with raising 2 kids, twins.
Oh yeah, that's.
I would take them to McDonald's and I'd sit with a coffee and watch them eat their meals. Nothing ever bothered me that way. When I craved because I craved. It wasn't because what they had.
Right.
So there was suppers for them, and then I had my food.
There were a few times that some of the preps that Jamie did, and he'd be coming on to the end, and he would keep saying, I'm starving. And he'd go to bed. He'd say, I'm going to have just this little bit before I go to bed. And it seemed like he had an extra bite before he went to bed. He would wake up at about 2 a.m.
Right.
He would go out to have a spoonful of peanut butter.
Oh, the secrets are coming out. Yes.
Half the jar of
honest to God.
Gone.
You can't touch it. It's fucking crap.
And Nutella
It's like
on the rice.
We all did that. We all did that.
And then pretty near cry in the morning because I couldn't believe he did that. And about 2 nights later, he did that about 3 times. And then I turned into...
Somebody had to break that.
I turned into the big bad wolf.
It was I couldn't shake it. It wasn't at the last prep. Was it the Gladiators?
He also told me when we first started going out, you have to understand, he said, I don't sleep when I'm prepping. As it gets close to the end, I don't sleep. The maximum I could ever get would be 4 hours. And
wow.
Yeah.
And the first time it was that. And then I told him, you can have what you say. So the reason you don't get 4 hours is because you say, that's the max I can get. And it's a psychological thing. I got him to start saying, I used to only get 4 hours of sleep, but it's getting better all the time. I can't believe how well it's coming. And I can't
get up to do my cardio in the morning. I fucking
scared himself.
But I'm going to have to correct that too. And
last few preps, I just sleep. The alarm clock can go off, and I hit it, throw it off the corner, and keep on sleeping.
That's probably why you're getting better.
That dramatically different. So what you keep telling yourself actually
what you get
will come about. It may not be immediate, but instead of ever beating yourself up for anything, you say, I used to do that a lot, and I've gotten so much better, even if it's only this much. That's where my head is. That little tiny bit better in anything. And it literally goes to building muscle, consistent prep, consistent anything. I'm getting better all the time. I used to really suck at this, and I just can't believe it's amazing what it will do over a period of time when you tell yourself that it eventually just comes natural, and you're like, look at
look at me sleep on just by yourself sometime to talk about that.
If anybody needs therapy, because I have done extensive self-therapy now. I give great advice. I don't always take it, but I can give.
I think Antoine must say that every night before he goes to bed about his beard. Just a little bit better. Just a little bit
better. No, really. Now I'm counting the days. I'm like, man, I can go for a haircut in 9 more days. I'm gonna get everything trimmed.
It's looking good, buddy. It's looking good.
Man, I
just trimmed mine for tonight's show.
Devin's always looking nice little swagger on.
Swagger on. I trimmed up. I looked like shit earlier. I get ready for the show.
You guys got something to add before Andy, Amy? How do you guys, if someone was coming into this and this their first prep and their partner is like, what do I do? Do I cook for this person? I don't want to cook for this person this whole time. Are they going to rely on me? Is it going to be stressful? Like
That's the thing. When Andy and I first started dating, I had never prepped food for anyone but myself. So you don't really have to think about what their caloric need is. So in the beginning, it was like, okay, I'm going to have it all set out, and I was prepping things. And I think it was one of the first times that I'd stayed at his house, and he got up in the morning, and I was like, okay, I'm going to prep your chicken for the rest of the day. And he was like, you're going to what? Yeah, what can I do? But I've committed to that now. Here we are 7 years later. I still feel like if I stop now, I might be dropping the ball. So I've created a monster as far as prepping. meals and making sure that that's done. But I found it easier to just take that on and prep everything that I could and try and make it a little easier so he could grab and go. And his job's definitely more demanding than mine, so I had a little more free time than he did to kind of devote to that stuff. But since we stopped prepping, it's like we don't even eat the same food at the same time anymore. So maybe we should.
We never eat together.
We never do, unless it's like we're going to dinner on this day to a restaurant. Yeah, we never eat the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, we're the same way. I did the opposite of you, Amy. I was like, you prep yours, I'll prep mine. I'm not eating your food.
She won't touch my food. I don't know why.
I know why. And I mean, again, it was just sort of a byproduct of when we first met. Like, he was already eating the way he ate, and I was eating the way I ate, and we both had our little, he had a bigger Tupperware container, and I had a smaller one because that was, my lifestyle as well. So we've just sort of kept that up, and I mean, it works.
Yeah.
And like once or twice a month, we'll actually sit down and eat the same meal together, except for breakfast. We eat breakfast together a lot.
Same time.
Breakfast is amazing. But yeah, I think the trickiest part is in terms of like the eating though, is not so much like, for us all here, it's sort of when we have to go to other places. So like family dinners and like there's 2 years ago, I think, at Christmas time, because Josh was getting ready for Arnold's, you like brought your own broccoli to like Christmas dinner and had like some dry turkey and and I mean, he's been around enough, around my parents enough now that they get it and they understand what he's trying to do. But that's not going to stop Dad from being like, hey, do you want a beer? Hey, do you want some dessert? Hey, do you want this or that? So even though like they know what his goals are and they know what he's trying to do and that he's going to say no, that, they're still going to push it or offer it or what have you. So
aggressively offering food.
Eat! So yeah, it's not so much between us. It's like the social situations and the family situations where it gets a little trickier, I think.
Well, what about me, Josh?
What about you?
Yeah. So Josh used to prep most of my foods. Most of my meal.
You prep Devin's food and you won't prep mine?
No. That's not how it went.
Most of my beef. Most of my beef and chicken. Right, Josh?
Well, I would usually cook mine and Devin's at the same time. We ate the same food.
And mine at the same time, yeah.
We
just
mine too.
We're doing the same time.
So we eat the same food, so it was like kind of all together. I was getting half decent rent.
I want Josh to
it's like I only shaved his back twice. It's fine. But
Josh used to prep my food as long as I'd be the little spoon at night.
Well, you're always so warm. You're always so warm, Dev. It's fine.
Sorry. All right.
No, but Devin was quite easy. He was very simple and plain. Barely, one is just rice, beef, rice, chicken, maybe one meal with vegetables. I don't know. It was.
Amanda's laughing right now. Listen to this.
So,
yeah.
But things have changed now. If you have Devin as a coach, it'll be quite a bit different from back when he was doing it himself. Right? There's the coaching style has changed a little bit. Well, I've noticed anyway for myself when I'm with you.
With me?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not as old school as it used to be. But
back in 2000
works.
9? When did we meet? 2009 you started prepping, huh? When we started working together?
Yeah.
2010, 2009. Yeah. Holy shit.
I know.
But yeah.
Okay. Here's a fun one. Let's see what you guys my partner has competed naturally for 2 years, and Now he wants to do PEDs, but I'm not really comfortable with that idea. What should I do?
I'll jump on this one because this was a thing for me when we first got together, because I come from the world of weightlifting and it's a tested sport. And as far as I was concerned, like PEDs were the worst things on the face of the planet and nobody should do them. And obviously nobody does them. So I was very naive at the time. And I was also concerned, like, just for my own sake, like, if I ever got to the national level, like, what does it mean if they're in my house? And I'm like, but they're not mine, kind of thing. So anyways, again, very, very naive position on it. But anyways, at one point, I think I found something at your house. We had never had the discussion before. I had never asked him.
We're a couple months into dating. I think.
We had never discussed it. And I found something. And I just outright asked Josh about it, and he was very honest. And it really opened my eyes to, like, the reality of what people do in the sport. And it also made me a lot more accepting, obviously. I mean, I had a choice. It's like, do I, believe what I have believed for the last however many years, or do I just accept that this person is doing what they feel they need to do to be successful in this sport, and knowing that, that is what people do to be successful in the sport. So
I also gave like an option, like, I'm sorry, this is it, right? It's like, it's either this comes with me. It's the package. I can't, like, only in the first couple of months of a relationship, I was, not going to be like,
I'm going to change my
I was like,
myself for you.
Yeah. That's a nice way to put it. Thanks.
Yeah. So, I mean, for this person, whoever's asking this question, like, I think as long as you're doing it intelligently and your partner's doing it intelligently and they're getting good information, my stance on it now is like, you do you, I'm going to do me, and like, I'm going to compete the way I want to compete, and you can do what you need to do to be successful. But I mean, it is the reality of many sports. I mean, they just announced like a completely different, like, sporting, they're calling it like the enhanced Olympics or something. I can't remember, but basically it's just specifically for people who want to push themselves to that level. So as long as you guys are having honest conversations about it, like, don't, if you approach them and are like, hey, I don't accept that you're going to do this, and then you're just going to force lies, and that's no good anyway. So yeah.
And we do go very low, Josh.
Oh yeah, like, for sure. Least amount as possible, right?
Yeah. Like especially the last few years.
Especially
very low.
Same here.
Anyone else want to jump in on that one?
So, I know when I met Sarah, I think we knew each other probably like 5 days, and I was like, I'm like, my mobility sucks. Can you inject my glutes? And Sarah knew nothing about steroids whatsoever. Like, I just explained, and like I said, we met when I was on probably quite a bit of gear, so it doesn't really change the fact what was going to come ahead. I was actually coming off from the show, so
fair enough. Yeah. So
I think, like what Allison was saying, though, it's the education around it, having some intelligence and understanding. So it's okay to have reservations about your partner taking that route. Communication is always key, and really understanding what the effects are, and working with somebody who understands how to deploy these compounds, because there's a very unsafe approach and there is a safer approach, right? So you really have to know what you're doing, and you have to be able to communicate with your partner, because it obviously changes the person. And there's a lot of key things.
In what way do you mean? That's interesting. What, physically, mentally?
So,
if
for an
someone is
example,
like
each
decides,
time
sorry,
I remember this prep, each time I got a gear bump on my plan, I would be like, "Oh my God, Sarah, I'm gonna be so cranky next week."
So there's changes that happen psychologically, right? So
Yeah.
mood changes, behavior, anxiety, irritability, and everybody is affected differently. Some people who have less self-awareness may feel these effects a lot stronger. Somebody who can be self-reflective and self-aware, like Antoine,
Yeah.
kind of understands what the change is going to be before it happens. Now, this comes obviously with experience. So if somebody is new into this, it's very important for them to work with somebody who has experience so that they can explain how you're going to feel.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just
Daryl, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think he was? Do you think because he put it in his mind that he was psychologically gonna, when he increased the gear? Do you think that had an effect on it?
Sometimes there would be no effect at all.
No,
Or do you think
I
it would
just
be?
communicating that it's going to be
I see
worse
what
than
you're
what
getting
it
at.
was. Kind of lessened the effect, right? But what doesn't change between us is the communication.
Yeah.
And if I bring something up to him about his mood, he's gonna be like, okay, like, obviously I have to be reflective about that. I am the gear user type thing, so I have to be open to the feedback that somebody's giving me.
But for me, like for gear, I don't know. It's more, I don't get mad at anyone. I don't think anyone ever seen me get mad at a single person. Like I don't fight with anyone. It's not really. Maybe Sarah saw me get mad a couple of times, but usually I don't get mad at anyone. But for me, it's just like an anxiety thing. It's like so sometimes I just, and it's something that improved a lot in the years. But I would go and I take gear and I just want to see. I don't want to see anyone. I would just hide. I just want to be alone. Like, and I didn't really understand what's happening. But in the years, I just don't isolate myself anymore at all. So I just I find it helped a lot.
Yeah, I like that. Like, yeah, don't hide away. Don't
No.
allow yourself to be around people and communicate still, and try to get positivity from others, and don't hide away and be negative. Yeah. Dev, question for you. With you've experienced preps with multiple partners. Do they ever have any problems?
No.
No.
Not with me. Not with me.
No. No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, when did you stay with me? What year was that? I wasn't really with anyone then, but we were getting ready for LA next 2016.
16?
Yeah.
I was going to say 15 or 16, yeah.
That's when I met Antoine, actually. I met Antoine then, the Gladiator show. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 2016.
I remember.
The first Gladiator, yeah. That's when we met.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I remember you were like, you have a lot of veins on your forearms, but I think we can get you winning a show next year.
Yeah. You came down to see me in St. John, then you were winning shows. Yeah.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I've been with a few partners during. I mean, it depends on the partner too, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
What they're like. Depends on the partner too. If they're accepting to it, if they know what you're doing, I mean, they're gonna help you out during prep. They're gonna know what's going on during prep.
So it would be best to, like, if anything, maybe someone going into this might want a little bit of education. If the person that is thinking about getting off PEDs, how about both the partner and the athlete educate themselves a little bit, or share that
100%.
knowledge?
I think
so. Yeah,
especially when you're running gear and stuff too. I think like like Sarah said, the partner should like know what you're running, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to relay that through what you're running, because there's certain compounds that react differently, right?
I'm the opposite. I am like totally blindfolded when it comes to whatever's going on.
I don't actually do that.
Shut up. So
Josh is natural.
I also
Josh is natural.
know that he's smart enough to get the advice and to seek, seek out the knowledge that he needs to get. And I know enough to be comfortable that I can trust what he's doing. But in terms of like details, I still have no idea.
I'll try to keep him safe.
Yeah,
we've been doing pretty good the last 20 years or whatever.
Well, this is the thing. Like
I'll try to keep him safe.
I know enough. I know enough to know that he's being smart about it and that he's got smart people in his corner.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like I'm on a need to know basis and I know what I need to know. And I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
What were you guys down there in the
with me down? Oh, sorry.
We can't. It's all backwards here.
Yeah, I tell her everything that's going on and when it's going on. But as far as discussing that and stuff, she knows what I do and the stuff for shows and whatnot. And that's where we leave it. It's not a big deal. It's what we do for shows, and we've all been doing this a long while. So we're into the competitive side and the hard end, and we usually go for it when we're doing a show. So as long as you keep everything to a minimum where it works, where it needs to, and that's it. Don't force things, but keep an open dialogue between you and your partner, and everything will go. I had training guys and stuff where they kept it from their spouse or their girlfriend, and I actually had one woman call me just had found it and called me, and I said, whoa,
like what the hell is this?
Yeah, go back to
were they blaming you for this?
Blaming me for finding a way for him to get it, or just because I asked that question too? Why you calling me?
Right.
Well, you're the only one he knows that would be able to get this stuff. And I said, you're oblivious to everything then, because you want. Yeah. It's just a trick in the mouth. So, but anyway, I have to talk to your husband. Yeah, that was a kind of a little bit. But be open. Just be open, and if you're going to do it, and you have a partner that's close enough to you that they need to know, they need to know.
I think if you're new coming into a relationship with somebody who's competitively bodybuilding, what did you think? you need to understand that that's part of their lifestyle. It is who they are. It's what they do. It's what they love. So there's a lot that goes with it, and understand it before you start to pass a judgment, because we're so quick to give a judgment on
something you really don't know about.
That's a big one.
Yes, it goes down to that. That dog is going to drive me crazy. Sometimes this one's a little harsh. No,
go for it.
Not going to throw that out there.
Well, there's an old saying that says, I'm drawing a blank. I'm just going completely blank. It must be camera shy. Sometimes it's better to say nothing and look stupid than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. So when you start passing the judgment on, drugs are bad. And of course, we want to teach our children, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
But people take Advil or Tylenol or anti-anxiety medications or something for weight loss or something. There's a drug to help you wake up in the morning, and there's one to help you go to sleep at night, and there's one to any kind of pharmaceutical that you know nothing about. You're not just gonna go start popping things because somebody said. You need to know what you're doing, and you need to have some friends who know more than you, and ask questions before you start firing, insults or judgments. Or it's a science. Bodybuilding's a science, and pharmaceuticals can be quite scientific, if anybody noticed lately. So it's just It's a lot more to it than just drugs.
Yeah, sure.
As far as enhancing performance.
Yeah. Well said.
I'd also throw in there too, though, so the person who actually like asked this question, they're sort of saying, you know, how do I approach this? And the answers we've basically given have been like, you know, if they want to do this, they're going to do it. But I'd also encourage them to like challenge their partner on why they want to do that, right? Because, you know, if they're competing and they're natural, and maybe they did that just because they were just starting out, and that just seemed like maybe they just didn't know at that time, that maybe they were naive like me. But if they're doing well as a natural athlete and they're enjoying themselves and they're getting great progress, like why, you know, I would encourage that partner to challenge them in terms of like, why do you want to go to PEDs? Like, is this because it's going to get you to the next level? Like, is this going to put you in a position where maybe you could then compete nationally, or then maybe you can go further? But if you're just doing it because, you know, like, what is the risk to reward ratio here? Like, if you're just doing it because you want like
some cool photos
or whatever it is, like what is your level of dedication here? And is it going to be worth it? Is the cost going to be worth it? Is the risk going to be worth it? Is, you know, are all of these things going to be worth it? And, you know, in order to have that conversation, like, both parties need to have some education around it, obviously, so that they can discuss it. But yeah, I think for any sport that's a consideration. It's like, you know, before you do it, like, make sure that you really want to go down that path.
There's no going back, really. Right? You can't. So,
well, I mean,
you hear a lot of people say they're only going to do one cycle, or they just want to do a little bit and, you know, bump themselves up, and that'll be it. And that almost never happens.
No,
I don't know if I've ever met anybody who just did one cycle.
No, same.
Me either.
Even like,
so it is level of commitment. That's a really good point that she's making, because it's bigger than you think. The commitment that we're about to make.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, Andy.
Yeah. And the risk to cost ratio is like a risk to reward ratio is a big thing too. I mean, if you're not competing, I don't know if you want to dab into these things. But
No.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
I would stay away. I don't know.
Yeah, I know quite a few people that do it that are that have no desire to step on stage. I'm just like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, you see that a lot.
Yeah.
Some people actually are so uninformed that they think if they did a cycle and went to the gym once or twice a week, they're going to look like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And
you see that a lot too. Yeah.
Yes. You know, it doesn't
rude awakening.
It doesn't replace the work. It doesn't replace effort put in. It's literally a slight enhancement with a lot of risk if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So definitely research and ask somebody who knows.
All right, we got another one here. This one is fun too. My boyfriend is going into his first competition. I'm really anxious and nervous about him being backstage with a bunch of females that are half naked. We had many fights over this. Please help. How do you get over your partner being around others?
Can I go first?
Partners being around others backstage.
Can I go first, Josh?
Devin was like, me. Yeah, whatever, go for it.
Okay, tell her to grow up.
What I was going to say is, I can assure you that on show day, there's probably not a single male thinking about having sex.
Oh my
I know, right?
To be honest, is there anyone on show day or for the week after a competition that their dick actually works? I don't know. Probably.
And the other aspect to that is anyone who is actually taking bodybuilding seriously doesn't actually look at someone's physique in a sexual manner.
Yes.
So I know that it's not.
Sometimes agree with that.
No,
that's true too. No, that's true. That is very true. I say that a lot. Yeah, you don't look at it like that. Like when you're judging someone's physique, coaching wise, like you're not looking at it like that. I don't know.
No, is that like with the girls turning their back while you're like, oh my god, look at their asses?
Yeah, I know.
You're like, oh my gosh, look
And
at
I got I got a lot of back turn, bikini
But I
back turns
understand,
in my
like,
life.
there's
But I don't
obviously
look at it like,
people who have those
oh
insecurities, right? So
yeah. It's just insecurity, yeah.
and I think the conversation needs to be had more so on the relationship level, and openness with trust and loyalty, and all of these things need to be talked about before show day.
Well, that's a better way to put it, Sarah, than I did.
I think most of the competitors back there are actually looking at their own self anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
or the person that they're competing against.
Oh,
the
yeah.
guys
That's
are
true,
looking
yeah.
at the guys, and the girls are looking at.
Oh yeah.
Not for the reason you think. You see somebody that has done phenomenal work and they're looking really good, and you're like, shit, I've got to work that much harder next year. I'm gonna outdo that. It's just constantly being better with yourself. So it's not the time for dating.
No. Unless it's Antoine and Sarah.
Yeah, except us.
Yeah. We started texting 2 weeks before, but
on stage, like prep. No, not prep day. What is it? Show day. You didn't meet on show day, did you?
No. We saw each other once. We met the second time at show
They
day.
exchanged swords. They exchanged swords at show day.
Oh, we had clothes.
No, we had started our conversations and
I'm just
kind of
joking.
getting to know each other before shows even happened, and then we competed at the same show, and then I competed 2 weeks later, and then and then we kind of fell into dating after that. But it wasn't because we saw each other backstage. I can assure you that.
No, actually, to be
you
honest,
guys were on the game show, right? That's right. Yeah, you were.
This is how
I
the
thought
show
Antoine was done, but then weeks later, Sarah did her naturals, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and Antoine was off prep then.
Yeah, I was off prep, all good. But the day after the show that we were there, to be honest, it went compete, show, win, home, eat, then Sarah. That was the schedule. I was more thinking of the burger, the skip a dish at home than I was thinking about anything else.
He even invited me to go to dinner, and I'm like, no. I didn't even want to hang out with him on show day.
No.
So the mindset of a competitor on show day is certainly not focused on intimacy.
No, it's how much I'm gonna compete and then I'm gonna eat until I make myself sick.
Or you're looking at the other sex. Like
yeah.
To see how they're gonna make out.
And even if you are one of those weirdos that's back there creeping, the first girl fart you smell. I don't know what some of these girls are carving up on, but holy.
You walk by the room with the big vanity mirror and you can't even see them.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa. No, we're just as bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The whole backstage is bad.
Do you care? She doesn't care.
You guys are like, there is no like mingling, I feel like, of the sexes during the show. It's like the guys are over in the corner like high-fiving and broing it up and hugging each other because they all did a good job, and the girls are in the other corner doing the same thing. So
looking at their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think if you're the person who is asking that question, I think, sorry, but I think you got bigger problems than show day. You guys got to have a discussion.
Yeah, totally agree. It's like I don't live with my GF, but they're in show prep. They're starting show prep. Will I ever see them?
No.
That means girlfriend.
It's done. You have to wait the 4 or 6 months of prep.
So yeah. So how much time will prep? So someone that's like, again, first time going through this, how much time does like a prep take away or from a relationship? Is it all like
3 months, 2 months, 3 months?
And how much does the person as a partner, how much do you have to sacrifice going into a relationship, and are you willing to give this up? Give
2,
up
3
like
months.
time, dates, going out to dinner. I can't really say movie night because movies, you can always watch a movie.
Yeah.
It's super, keep going.
You go.
It's super easy. All you're supposed to do is then you go do cardio with your partner. That's date night.
What
Not
I
a
would
bad
be
idea.
saying.
That's the thing. It's not like you can spend all the time you want with your partner. It's just you're not going to do it eating popcorn at the movie, and you're not going to do it going out to dinner together. You just got to like find other things to do. Like
there's so many prep friendly activities that you can do. We go bowling, we play mini golf, we go to the movies.
We travel.
We travel. I mean, like obviously traveling on prep is
it's hard.
limited and it's hard, but you can still do short trips, especially if it's more local. And so what doesn't change is that the person was still already going to the gym. They were still already eating food. They still already sleep. They still already have a job.
Oh yeah.
So those are factors that are already taken up in the time of your day anyway. So it's up to the relationship to make that time to spend time together, which you're already doing if you're in a relationship. So you just need to find fun activities to do that the person on prep can do without the association of food. But like we said, we're going out to dinner tomorrow night for a friend's birthday, and I'm going to drink coffee, and I'm okay with that. Like because I'm taking the association of food out of it and spending quality time with people.
Yeah.
So you can still do that in a relationship in most settings.
So for an example, our week, it's we got this dinner. We're traveling to Halifax for clients. Then after that, Sarah has a spa day. Like things don't change. It's just the same. If you make it different, it's just gonna make your life complicated, and you'll just be miserable. So basically the only difference in prep is you eat clean, we do cardio, and everything else stays the same.
Yeah, and people who put all this stress on themselves, or like even to Darla's point about like kind of if you're manifesting this to be like, oh my god, I'm on prep and I can't do anything, then it's going to be horrible.
Oh yeah.
So why make your prep horrible by saying that you can't do anything when you chose this? So you just have to check all your boxes that are required through prep and not cheat on your diet, and you can still hang out with whoever you want.
I think where it gets a little trickier for, I would say, particularly like either new couples or couples where one of them is new to the sport, it's like, it's a big change, right? Like if you are someone who's not into the gym and you don't even know what bodybuilding is, or like that's just not your lifestyle, and then you start dating someone that is their lifestyle, then it'll probably seem like they don't have a lot of time for you because they're just, they're going about their life the way they've gone about it, and you're going about it the way you go about yours, and they just don't really mesh up really well together because you have very different lifestyles. So I can see how that can get kind of tricky. But if it's something,
if you take prep out of that, it would still be complicated for that relationship.
What was that?
Even if you take the fact that somebody's in prep out of that altogether.
Exactly. So
yeah.
So it's more about like, finding some common ground in that sort of scenario. It's like Sarah said, it's not about prep or not prep. It's, is this a lifestyle that you are willing to support? Because that's, whether they're in prep or not, if they're going to be doing this for a long time, like it's not a 12-week thing, right? It's a lifetime thing. Like it's a year-round thing. Maybe it's not restricting calories year-round, but it's, it doesn't stop. So be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Before Allison, I dated somebody that would question, why am I going to the gym again? Are you going again? You were just there yesterday. I'm like, oh, okay. Yep. I'm going again, and I will go tomorrow. And I
ate breakfast yesterday. and
Yeah.
I'm going to eat breakfast.
And before that, Josh.
Probably
What's
tomorrow.
that?
And before that, Josh, you were with someone who didn't like meat.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Who
That
couldn't
was
cook
I literally
Didn't like
cooked my
meat?
meals. I literally cooked my meals outside because they
outside.
did not like the smell of meat. It would be December, January. I'd be outside with my foreman grill cooking my fish.
I was, yeah.
They were
We're not
pure
with those
vegan.
people
Pure
anymore.
vegan.
So
Pure vegan.
yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that memory, Devin. That was.
Just wanted to remind you, Josh.
Yeah.
Just wanted to remind you where you were
How far we've come.
and where you're now.
One of the things I did earlier on in my life was running a nightclub.
Oh, what kind?
What do you mean, wait?
What kind?
What do you mean, what kind?
No, what kind of club?
No, the one with the strippers and shit.
No, it was country bar, and so it's a pub and eatery, but the point being, it's a different lifestyle. It's a totally different lifestyle. I've always been athletic to some point. But if you're a nightclub party dancing fun, it doesn't fit very well in the wellness world. It's two different worlds. So lifestyle is huge. You just decide what kind of, and both are fine. But when you're in wellness, that's one thing, and bodybuilding's taking that to another whole level. So you can't even compare. That's like comparing apples and oranges to being in your party stages. There's no party during prep.
Yeah.
Now, Andy.
Now, Andy, on the other hand,
Mexico,
Mr. Mexico.
There's a way around everything, guys. You just got to get creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. But it's hard for people to expect a competitor to go into that world. It just doesn't, especially during prep.
It don't work.
It doesn't work. My goodness, are they all frozen?
No, we're here. No, that was really good. No,
It's just you and I.
We were just all intrigued.
We're intrigued by this.
Intent.
Yeah.
Let's see. Andy, it's like this was my, and Amy, it's like my partner. Is my partner going to be miserable during this prep? I've heard horrible stories. That's just another one we got. We kind of touched on that already a little bit, but yeah, it's going to suck some days. But how would you guys offer the best way to support your partner during the hard times as like the day goes, as the day nears, when we're really trying to suffer and get the last couple pounds off? How do you guys support each other?
I think for me, the biggest thing is trying to put myself in his position. How much, I don't want to downplay how lean a female has to get, but I know he would have to get a hell of a lot leaner than I did.
You guys
to
still
be able
suffer though to get there.
Oh yeah, huge suffer, same, but it would remind me that, I'm suffering. Yeah, it sucks. He's probably suffering a little more than I am. To try and put things into perspective that way helped a lot. Understanding that you're both in the same place as far as going through some level of suffering. So kind of, what is it? Misery loves company. So you're kind of in it together, and just try to make the bad days a little bit better in some way, whether it's just go do cardio together. Let's go walk outside together. Just trying to be there if they need you, but not always being in their face like, what's wrong? What do you need? How can I help you? Sometimes that's just not
That's annoying.
what
It can be
someone
like,
needs. It's just leave it alone. And if they need you, they're going to come and tell you, like, I need you to help me with this. Got into the habit of rubbing feet a lot to try and make his day a little better.
I want my feet rubbed.
Oh, yeah. It's like right up until backstage. Like I think we were backstage at our last show, and I'm in my suit, and I have my suit glued to my butt, so I can't really sit down. But I'm kind of cantilevered, and I've got his feet up on my leg, and I'm trying to rub
What?
the bottom of his feet.
Yeah,
Oh,
backstage.
You rub feet.
it was
Holy
quite a sight. So yeah, but that was what we did. It worked for us. So at the end of the day, we would have our time. We would sit on the couch, and it was an L shape, and he'd rub my foot for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just be your turn. And yeah, but that worked for us. Was just a routine of something that we did together for each other. It was just a nice way to connect in some way when everything kind of goes sideways.
And I think everybody has a different level. Like everybody has a different ability to cope, ability to suffer. You know, like some people, they say they're going to do a show and they get 2 months into it and they're a mess. They're just a wreck. You know, and I guess you
Yeah.
don't know until you try it. But I've seen so many people just say like, "Oh, I can do that," right? And then they get into it. Not to say that I just don't think it's for everyone. So you have to give it a shot. I think everyone should try it who wants to. But if you see a bit of a path of destruction behind you, it's probably good to maybe reevaluate what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're very lucky. Andy preps really well because again, he prepped and had worked out the kinks in his build up to a show for almost 20 years before I came around. So all of the hard stuff was kind of sorted. So he kind of knew what he needed to do to be able to maintain a healthy relationship and still be able to deal with his own stuff in his own way and sort through it that way too. I remember prepping my very first show. I was a psychopath. I wouldn't. My family didn't want anything to do with me for like 3 months. They're like, you need to take your stinky broccoli and go somewhere else. So it definitely was hard for me in the beginning. But again, I was single then, and it was a little easier to just hate my life alone. So just support your person and understand where they're coming from. And again, it's not for everybody.
And I would say it gets better. Like, you know, the first prep that I did with Josh, you know, we were pretty newly dating. Like I said, I didn't, when he told me it was going to get shitty, I didn't really believe him. Or not that I didn't believe him. I just thought, you know.
I proposed to her 4 weeks out.
I think that's how he like convinced me to stay.
Yeah,
if I put a ring on it, she'll have to stay. Yeah.
I was really hoping it wasn't prep rain. I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't know.
No big decisions in prep.
Yeah. I was like, I really hope I got a clear head for this.
Oh,
but
I was there on the beach.
So, but yeah, like the first one might be a little bit rough for everybody.
Yeah.
But you learn through that, right? You learn how to react. You learn what to expect. And, you know, Josh has learned, you know, through each and every prep something new and handles things better. And I've learned how to like manage things better. I mean, basically for the last 4 weeks or so, he just gets like a get out of jail free card. Like there's no, if he's grumpy or if he's like, you know, being short or tired or cranky, it's just like, whatever, you know, it's 3 more weeks. Like we've got a lifetime together. We'll sort it out.
Yeah. Finding acceptance in it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else on that? Because that would be coming to a close.
Yeah. No, that was good. What she said. Yeah.
Nice.
She's very supportive. Obviously, I mean, you won.
Yeah. If I wasn't winning shows, it might be a different thing.
Yeah. I only support him because he's successful.
Right? You're like, why are you doing this? You suck so much. We do it once, but then
Yeah. I will say
he only got successful till you supported him, Allison.
What's that?
He only got successful till you supported him like that.
That's right.
That's kind of true. I was winning.
It is kind of a little bit.
It's actually 100%. Josh actually improved like a lot.
Yeah.
He met you
since he got like a lot. Yeah, for real.
To be honest, it was. I think the stress went away. right? When you had somebody in your corner that wasn't causing any extra stress, it just went away and things just got easier. So,
Same.
I think so too.
Right.
That's the truth. That's
I
true
think we worked out
statement.
a pretty good balance too, because, and like this is something for any couple that's gonna do this, and I'm sure Antoine and Sarah, like you guys have your moments too, where it's like at some points, like I am the supporting role, and you know he's in it, right? And other times of the year, like right now, Josh is pretty much taking a year off, and I'm doing my competitive stuff so that we don't have to be doing it at the same time. Antoine and Sarah, I don't know how you guys do it at the same time. Honestly,
So,
like,
so this is
like that's amazing to me. But we've had a close crossover. Like I had to do a weight cut for my sport like shortly after he had done a prep, but they didn't overlap. But it was a long couple of months. But yeah, doing it at the same time, I don't know. We've worked out that we're not likely going to do that.
Probably not a thing.
We learned from ours. So, we learned from ours. It was easy to go through prep together, but when it comes to show day, is a little different.
Oh, it's different. Yeah. So
being my coach, right?
So there's a lot of different factors with Sarah. One, I coach Sarah as well. So let's say I'm a dick and I fuck up her prep, it means that she's not going to do well, and that doesn't work out for either of us. So there's a big factor in that end too. So I cater to Sarah the same way I would cater to any client. So she talks to me, she tells me how she feels, you know what I mean? And sometimes we do it in a text message form. So you know what I mean? It really, it's like exactly a real client. But the biggest, hardest thing we ever did is compete at the same show with different athletes that we were coaching as well. And that was extremely hard, like really, really hard. And it took a big toll on me.
We all won.
Yeah, we all won. So it went well. But there's a bigger factor then. So the first show was a regional, and we were all comfortable at hometown. But then me and Sarah went to a national show after. And that one was really difficult on me. Like, it was so difficult that I finished in the top 5, and I didn't even end up going to the call-outs at the end. I didn't want to. I wanted to focus on Sarah. I wanted to see how she was going to do. So I didn't go up to get my medal. I just didn't want to. I wanted to.
You wanted to be the coach.
I wanted to be the coach because the first thing I did is, because I was doing too many things at once, I fucked up Sarah's peak, and I knew I fucked it up. And the biggest thing for me, it's like I'm really, really hard on myself when I do something wrong, and I try to fix it, and I couldn't. And I already knew I couldn't fix it, so I just had to compensate and just bring in things that would help us. So would it have changed her placing? No, but I know it wasn't the best. I didn't get the data I wanted for our next show. So with that being said, I will not compete at the same show as Sarah ever again, or any other athletes. And that's the reason I'm not competing this year. Because I have athletes at every single show in the Maritimes. I have an athlete at every single show in a pro qualifier. I have some, and most of the ones we can go in the States, and I have a lot of them in Ontario and Quebec too. So it means for me to compete, it would be just too difficult, and I just want to be there for the athletes. Plus
exclusive fitness coaching.
Yeah. But to be honest as well, I'm not ready to get a pro card. I'm not doing enough yet. But Sarah is. So I'm willing to step back and let her achieve her goal. And after that is done, I'll try to achieve mine. Yeah.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But
I'll put your link up in the description for your coaching right there.
Thank you.
Anyone wants, if you're still taking people, it sounds like you're busy.
Yeah, no,
we're still taking people.
I'm still taking people. So we do this full time. So it's like we have all the time in the world. We don't do anything else, to be honest. And when we're not here, we have a wicked gym in Shediac. It's called MSP, and it has a huge community, and everyone just hangs out there. Yeah. They're just there like half the day.
So it's easy for us because well, it's our full-time job, and we love this. So yes, we're still accepting clients.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
And yeah,
I can't compete, but anyone else can compete.
yeah. And for me personally, obviously when I get closer to my show date, it's going to be hard to be more one-on-one involved, but we coach all of our athletes together.
Yeah.
So when I need to take a step back to focus on myself, he's the one to step in primarily, right? So
Yeah.
It works really well for us that way. So we've planned out our whole year on how this is going to work so that none of our athletes suffer from the fact that I'm competing, and we don't foresee any issues this year.
Nice. And I just want to get one more, just really curious, Jamie. Jamie's in prep right now, going to do the PEI show. How's that going? And how are you doing with that, Darla?
That's going good.
Yep.
We're just done here 6 weeks. Everything's looking good, coming right along, and yeah.
We have date night every night at the gym, and
she's my training partner, and she diets the same thing as I do, same way.
That's awesome.
So she's food for me and her, and she gets up in the morning with me to go morning cardio. So we spend.
That's awesome.
That's wicked.
To go to work, we spend all of our time together.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
So,
Yeah,
it's fun.
Make a lot of people jealous.
It's fun. I'm having fun. Yeah.
Are we all going to PI together? We're all going.
Yeah.
We're sponsoring.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
Antoine,
Yeah,
you're there, and Sarah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got athletes competing in it. Me and Sarah.
So Antoine,
I had to qualify, so I just picked that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you there. We'll be doing the. That'd be a good show.
Yeah. If anyone for we'll call them like the last 5 minutes, the last 5-minute group that hung out through this whole thing. We are going to be doing a live broadcast of the PEI show. Bodybuilders Amateur Hour. We're going to be doing commentary over it, and we're going to be doing a live broadcast on YouTube. And I think we believe it's going to be the first show in Canadian CPA history to do it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
We're pretty excited about that, and I don't.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey.
They'll know you.
We have our own kind of just like a couple of other big podcasting bodybuilding shows. We have our own booth there at the PEI show, and we're going to be having guests come in and out and talking to them between like intermission and whatnot. And then the show is going to be playing, and hopefully we're going to be doing some commentary over it and picking apart Jamie. So
yeah,
we're really excited for that.
We're gonna be rough. We're gonna be rough, Jamie. We know what you've brought.
I think it's good, Josh. Good for you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time, and we're really excited for it. And it's gonna, I think it's just gonna be great to have in the community, like a free show that people can watch around the world.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have to.
It's gonna be a blast.
What's that?
I said it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, it will be. So we're really excited.
Amy is sponsoring the show as well with Twisted Fitness, and she's going to bring the portable pole. So we're going to get all you guys on the pole.
Are you really?
Oh,
nice.
That is officially the intermission entertainment. Holy cow!
Yeah.
I want to see that.
We have an 11-foot.
Yeah.
It's an 11-foot,
that's
almost
awesome.
11 feet, I think.
Oh yeah.
Portable pole.
It's got spin mode and everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull another hip flexor. I know it.
No
Corey's
injury.
doing it right.
Marty injured.
Corey's doing it right.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for us for the questions. We're running a good time here. I would just want to say.
Do you get any questions about me, Josh? About
What's
living with
that?
me during prep? Do you get any questions about me during prep? Living with me during prep?
During prep.
I'm just teasing.
Not,
I was great.
But
I was great. We'll keep it under wraps for now.
We can bring that up some other time. We can do our private one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, guys. Thanks really much for coming out. This was a blast. And it's been something we wanted to do for a long time. I really appreciate your time. And Jamie, I don't know if you're still going to the gym or not, but sorry.
I'm going.
Oh man,
Oh my God.
it's like 9:40 at night, and he's good job, buddy.
Well, what am I going to do for the next hour or two before I go to bed?
Go to bed.
Whatever it takes,
Go to
right?
bed.
Or
At the
that.
time.
Oh,
Or that.
Not
You
going
could
to
do
bed
at home
now.
cardio. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to stay home.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome, guys. Thanks, Antoine Arsenault, coming on. Really appreciate it.
So much.
See you later.
It was great to talk to you guys. We want to
Good
get you
seeing you
back
guys.
on and hear about your trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
There's lots to talk about.
I want to hear about
We got a
Lady
whole
Boys.
podcast
Let's
on
bring it.
Yeah.
Lady boy.
It's,
Oh, what?
It was Thailand.
What's that?
Of course. Yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a great night. Thanks, Allison, for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. That's really nice.
See you, Alfred.
Thanks, Dave.
Amy. See you guys.
See you
Awesome.
later.
See you later.
Hey guys, nice to see you.